On the stage tonight, you won't be able to order a beef taco from Taco Bell. And in sports, an Ohio volleyball player earned Player of the Week honors for her outstanding defensive play this past weekend. Newswatch starts right now. Good evening, I'm Connor Keurig. Thank you for joining us tonight. A Kentucky man is facing murder charges. Police say Terry Whitehouse killed his father-in-law and then kidnapped his own wife last week. Whitehouse was arrested after someone spotted the minivan that was wanted in connection to the case in Shelby County. Police were able to take him into custody after a brief chase. Whitehouse is expected to appear in court again next week. And in West Virginia, a minor is also facing murder charges. Huntington police say officers found a man with multiple stab wounds Saturday night. He later died of his injuries. Authorities say they found a suspect a few blocks away from the scene and arrested him. The name has not been released because the suspect is a minor. A Zanesville man is recovering from a gunshot wound after a shooting this weekend. The Zanesville Police Department responded to the Flames Motorcycle Club early Sunday morning. Justin Seen, who was shot, was transported to Genesis Hospital. He is currently listed as being in stable condition. The incident is still under investigation and no suspect has been released yet. The governor of West Virginia is coming up with a plan to help people get jobs as they recover from addiction. Jim Justice revealed the program today at Putnam Career and Technical Center in Eleanor. Justice says the statewide collaboration will provide career training programs to people in recovery. State officials have also announced a series of public forums on substance abuse in the state. In 2017, West Virginia had the highest rate of drug overdose deaths in the country, according to the Centers for Disease Control. Opioids are currently the main driver of overdose deaths. They were involved in nearly 68% of all overdose deaths in the U.S. in 2017. Inactive Kentucky voters who were taken off regular rolls will be put back on. A Kentucky judge ordered the State Board of Elections to return the names of 175,000 voters to regular voter rolls. They were placed on an inactive list. This comes after a lawsuit filed by the Kentucky Democratic Party arguing the separate list could infringe the right to vote. The judge says the names will be returned to the one master list and feature an asterisk if the voter's address needs confirmed. Ohio's open enrollment period for Medicare is now underway. Today is the first day Ohioans can sign up to make changes to their government health care coverage. The enrollment period will be open until December 7th. Ohio's Department of Aging and the Department of Insurance are encouraging Ohioans to review their coverage options and make sure they are choosing the best plan. Now, let's go to Alyssa for a first look at the regional weather.
Hi, I'm forecaster Alyssa Lanier from the Newswatch Weather Center. Right now in Athens, it is 75 degrees under sunny skies. It has been a very beautiful day. The humidity is 26%, and so it's not very humid outside. The pressure is 29.89 inches, and the winds are from the southeast at 5 to 10 miles an hour. Across the region right now, it is 75 in Athens, 77 in Ripley, 78 in Ironton, 76 in Jackson, 74 in Chillicothe, all under very sunny skies. There has been no precipitation in Athens today, and right now there is none across the region, so it has been a very beautiful day. The highlights for the next few days: there will be rain ahead, and there will be cooler temperatures, but it will still be a nice week. So definitely keep your umbrella handy, and back to the desk.
Thanks, Alyssa. Candidates have been getting ready for the Democratic presidential debate. 12 candidates will take the stage tonight at Otterbein University in Westerville, Ohio. The candidates who qualified are Joe Biden, Cory Booker, Pete Buttigieg, Julian Castro, Tulsi Gabbard, Kamala Harris, Amy Klobuchar, Beto O'Rourke, Bernie Sanders, Tom Steyer, Elizabeth Warren, and Andrew Yang. It will start at 8 p.m. and end at 11 p.m. You can watch the full debate on WOUB FM. And as the debate kicks off here a few storylines and issues to watch for. First, this debate is the first time Joe Biden is not the clear frontrunner. Elizabeth Warren has been rising in the polls since the last debate last month. Also, Bernie Sanders is going to have to convince voters he's up to the task after suffering a heart attack a couple weeks ago. Plus, candidates are sure to talk about President Trump and both his foreign and domestic policy, including the impeachment inquiry, and the president's new sanctions on Turkey in the midst of an invasion of Syria. Now, all those issues are sure to come up as candidates work to appeal to Ohio voters. Ohio was once considered a presidential bellwether, but is now increasingly leaning red. CNN's Jeff Zellini examines if the Buckeye State is still a battleground or Trump territory.
As Democratic presidential candidates descend on Ohio for their next debate tomorrow night, all eyes are on the state. But will they be a year from now?
Why would you abdicate Ohio so quickly to Donald Trump?
Nan Whaley is the Democratic mayor of Dayton. She says voters should hold President Trump accountable for his trade policy, promises to restore manufacturing jobs, and so far not acting on guns. A key issue here after a mass shooting killed 9 people and injured 27.
I almost feel like Hillary's loss awakened a group of people that were not interested or willing to do the work of politics that are now completely fixated because they know what's at stake here in 2020.
She's talking about women like Stephanie Pizer, Tiffany Roberts, and Lisa Ludwig. Shell-shocked by Trump's victory, they formed a group in the Columbus suburbs called Positively Blue.
This neighborhood tends to be a little bit more Republican, and that was kind of the reason that we started Positively Blue, because we didn't have anybody to talk to.
They're motivated by a sense of obligation and perhaps feelings of guilt.
Like, I wish I would have been more involved prior to the 2016 election. Truthfully, I didn't think that would be the outcome.
You didn't think Trump could win?
Never. I like to think I'm pretty in tune, but I never saw it coming.
Winning Ohio will be no small task for Democrats. While Barack Obama carried the state twice, Trump's 8-point victory over Hillary Clinton showed how deeply red Ohio can be. But the suburbs are changing. Here in Westerville, Mitt Romney beat Obama 53 to 45% in 2012. But 4 years later, Clinton won 50 to 45, despite losing the state.
There are areas of this state that only 6 and 8 and 10 years ago were reliably Republican, big population centers that are now blue. And that makes the starting point of the 2020 election a lot closer from the get-go.
State Democratic Chairman David Pepper said the party should select a nominee who appeals to a broad cross-section of voters. The Trump re-election campaign and the Ohio Republican Party have been hard at work all year, investing heavily to avoid that. They're branding all Democratic candidates as too radical for Ohio.
Those messages don't really resonate in Ohio, and I don't think suburban voters are going to buy it.
But around kitchen tables like this, at least one thing has changed from 2016. The Trump presidency is motivating Democrats.
I've talked to people who admitted they voted for Donald Trump in 2016 and will not be doing so next time. And they've always voted Republican.
Do you think that they're making a mistake by underestimating what is happening in your kitchen and in kitchens across Ohio?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
But don't tell them.
Yeah.
Now, our reporters are in Westerville tonight for the debates. Here's what the scene looked like just a few hours ago. So, be sure to tune into Newswatch tomorrow night at 6:30 p.m. on WOUB for the latest on the race for the White House. And tonight, you can watch the full debate on WOUB FM. You might have to rethink that beef burrito you always get from Taco Bell. All it took was this one customer's complaint for the company to recall all of their seasoned beef. More details on that after the break. Plus, the GM auto worker strike could be over soon. That and more coming up next. Stay with us.
Are your ducks in a row? Almost half of Americans do not have a proper estate plan. Estate plans are more than matters of money and inheritance. They can guide your future health decisions and provide special instructions for loved ones in your care. Put your mind at ease by getting your ducks in a row today.
The Amazon. Humans have never set eyes on parts of this jungle until now. A team of naturalists and filmmakers are going to wire this wilderness, top to bottom. Remotely operated cameras will record everything 24/7. It's a wildlife filmmaking first.
That is remarkable.
As our cities expand, their wilderness is getting smaller. But for the animals who were here long before our city streets, these strong survivors of an ever-changing world have learned to do whatever it takes, not only to survive, but to thrive in this new urban jungle we all call home, the wild metropolis.
The battle over Baby M, the landmark case that still shapes surrogacy today.
What comes next after one gets married? Kids.
Could a solution for global warming be found in a terrifying Cold War concept? Plus, humorous Andy Borowitz.
Pollution isn't bad. It's merely a sign that American industry is firing on all cylinders.
Retro Report on PBS.
The Texas police officer accused of shooting a woman in her home is facing murder charges. Aaron Dean resigned from his job yesterday and was arrested hours later. Tatiana Jefferson was killed in the bedroom of her own home after what was supposed to be a welfare check. Fort Worth City officials say the shooting is unacceptable, but for the family of Jefferson, justice is still a long way away.
Senseless. My daughter was 28 years old, had her whole life in front of her.
Watching the video, I don't understand. There's no way to go in thinking that you have to shoot someone every time you go on the call.
Body camera footage shows officers moving through Jefferson's property in the dark. New York City police are investigating after a body was found in a manhole this morning. Authorities blocked off parts of Columbus Circle in Manhattan after a worker found the body. Police say the person has been dead for several days. Authorities believe the person was homeless, but it's not known how the body ended up in a manhole. Tanks roll into northern Syria as Turkey continues military strikes in the region. The attack follows the abrupt withdrawal of U.S. troops. Stacey Cohen has the latest.
Russia now joining Syrian government troops near the Syria-Turkey border as Turkey continues military strikes in the region. Moscow expanding its influence there following President Trump's highly criticized decision to withdraw U.S. troops from the area last week.
Turkey, Syria, let them take care of it.
The Kurdish-led fighters in northern Syria were a key U.S. ally in the fight against ISIS. Now, with the U.S. departure, the Kurds have turned to Russia and the Syrian regime of Bashar al-Assad for help.
We knew it was going to happen when the United States pulled forces out of northern Syria, that the only winners were going to be Russia, Iran, and the barbaric Assad regime.
Fear and heartbreak consuming this once relatively peaceful part of Syria as a humanitarian crisis grows. Another looming crisis, the 10,000-plus ISIS prisoners held throughout northern Syria, some of whom have already escaped amidst the fighting. Meanwhile, Turkey pushing further into Syria despite international pressure, claiming factions there are a threat to their nation. The White House announcing sanctions against Turkey and that Vice President Pence is planning a trip there.
The United States of America wants Turkey to stop the invasion, to implement an immediate ceasefire.
No word on when Pence will visit or if Turkey is ready to discuss a ceasefire. In Washington, Stacey Cohan reporting.
Now, the next time you go to Taco Bell, you might have to order a chicken taco instead. Taco Bell has voluntarily recalled all of their seasoned beef from locations in more than 20 states. This is after a customer reported they found a metal shaving in their food. There are no reports of anyone getting sick or hurt, though. A month-long auto worker strike against General Motors may be nearing an end. The United Auto Workers Full National Council is meeting with the CEO of GM. Some say this could be a sign that GM and the union are close to reaching a deal. GM's striking workers want to earn top pay with full benefits and get enhanced health care. The strike will end up costing GM more than $1 billion. More money is being invested in self-driving cars. Hyundai is the latest car company to announce a huge investment. The South Korean company says it will spend $35 billion developing the technology by 2025. Other companies like Volkswagen also invested $34 billion. And get a glimpse of the future, including a self-flying machine. That story is still ahead. That's coming up on Newswatch. First, here's a look at stocks.
Rain is coming and the temperatures will cool. I'll talk about that in my full weather, but first here's a look at stocks of local interest.
Think Wednesday on PBS. For stories from the world around us. Stories of hidden cameras.
We're likely to see some really exciting behavior.
Crumbling infrastructure.
We have had over 24 bridges fail.
And urban dwellers.
Life in the big city is complicated.
For stories that get you closer to life. Think Wednesday, starting at 8/7 Central. Think PBS.
I will nominate Judge Brett Kavanaugh.
A Supreme Court face-off, 30 years in the making.
You will see a system that has become toxic.
When Bork got taken down, they promised never to forget.
It was raw politics, and it was war.
Mitch McConnell is a tactical genius.
We're not giving a lifetime appointment to this president on the way out the door.
Unprecedented.
Democrats are outraged.
We're living in the era of the McConnell court now.
Are you nervous? A little bit? Oh, okay. Why?
Things run a little differently in this Queen's courtroom.
No one in here wants to see you in jail.
Meet a team of rebel heroines working to change the way prostitution cases are prosecuted.
She was in crisis and he just swooped in.
We are going to grant an early sealing. Yay!
Blowing up on POV.
The battle over Baby M, the landmark case that still shapes surrogacy today.
What comes next after one gets married? Kids.
Could a solution for global warming be found in a terrifying Cold War concept? Plus, humorous Andy Borowitz.
Pollution isn't bad. It's merely a sign that American industry is firing on all cylinders.
Retro Report on PBS.
Right now in Athens, it is 75 degrees under sunny skies, so it has been a very beautiful day. No precipitation. The humidity is 26%, so it hasn't been very humid today. A very nice day all around. 75 in Athens right now, 77 down in Ripley, 78 in Ironton, which is our hot spot, 76 in Jackson, 74 in Chillicothe, and 73 up in Columbus, all under sunny skies. Tonight in Athens, the low will be 53 degrees, and it will be partly cloudy. There will be rain showers after 4 a.m. and into the early morning hours. The winds will be from the south at 0 to 5 miles an hour, so definitely keep your umbrella handy if you're going out and about tonight. At 8 p.m. tonight, it will be 61 degrees and it will be clear. Then at 10 p.m., the skies will thicken to overcast skies and it will be 59 degrees. And there will be a slight chance of rain, but nothing too concerning yet. At midnight, there will be a 30% chance of thunderstorms and it will cool down to 58 degrees. So again, keep your umbrella handy. 53 is the low tonight in Athens, 55 in Ripley, 56 in Ironton, 51 in Jackson, 49 in Chillicothe, 45 in Columbus, and there will be a chance of thunderstorms across the region tonight into the morning hours. At the bus stop forecast tomorrow at 8 a.m. it will be 55 degrees and there will be morning showers. At 10 a.m. it will be 50 degrees and there temperature will cool and there will still be a 70% chance of rain. At noon, it will be 52 degrees and it will be cloudy. Tomorrow in Athens, the high will be 57 degrees and there will be morning showers and it will be a cloudy day. The highs across the region, it will be 57 in Athens, 58 in Ripley, 58 in Marietta, 58 in New Martinsville, and there will be showers across the region. There's a ridge over Athens, and this trough will move across the area tomorrow, and that is why we will see precipitation. Right now we are in a warm sector of a low pressure system, and this cold front will pass through tonight. And the high pressure system will come by Thursday, so we will see nice temperatures again on Thursday. Looking at the full forecast Wednesday, there is a 90% chance of rain showers in the morning, but it will clear up to be cloudy in the evening. It will be 57 degrees. It will be nice on Thursday and Friday at 62 degrees on Friday. It will be a nice weekend Saturday. It will be sunny, 66 degrees. There will be a 20% chance of rain in the evening, and there will be a chance of rain Sunday as well, and it will be a 40% chance, 67 degrees. So it will start to warm up again on Sunday. And so Monday and Tuesday it will be nice too.
Well, it still seems Ohio's weather can't make up its mind. So what are some things that people can do to be weather prepared?
I would definitely always keep your umbrella handy because it could rain on you.
All right, thank you, Alyssa. A trade show for the future is kicking off today in Japan. The 4-day event features companies from around the world showing off the latest tech advances in technology. This year, the show features a section called City of 2030, where visitors can walk down a street lined with technologies that hope to become everyday devices within the next 10 years. Other companies came with things like a personal flying device designed to help in natural disasters.
Good evening, everybody. Coming up in sports, the Ohio football team suffered a loss to Northern Illinois despite a pretty solid offensive day. Hear from senior quarterback Nathan Rourke later on. Then right after the break, an Ohio volleyball player had a solid week defensively and won Player of the Week honors. Find out who it is up next. That's all coming up after the break, but first, here's a look at what's coming up tonight on your public television station.
I will nominate Judge Brett Kavanaugh.
A Supreme Court face-off, 30 years in the making.
You will see a system that has become toxic.
When Bork got taken down, they promised never to forget.
It was raw politics, and it was war. Mitch McConnell is a tactical genius. We're not giving a lifetime appointment to this president on the way out the door.
Unprecedented.
Democrats are outraged.
We're living in the era of the McConnell court now.
The Amazon. Humans have never set eyes on parts of this jungle until now. A team of naturalists and filmmakers are going to wire this wilderness, top to bottom. Remotely operated cameras will record everything 24/7. It's a wildlife filmmaking first.
That is remarkable.
Genoa, Italy, without warning. A deadly bridge collapse. Who's to blame? And are we at risk?
We have had over 24 bridges fail in the United States since 2000.
Inside the global race to save our bridges.
We have a significant challenge.
Why bridges collapse on Nova.
As our cities expand, their wilderness is getting smaller. But for the animals who were here long before our city streets, these strong survivors of an ever-changing world have learned to do whatever it takes, not only to survive, but to thrive in this new urban jungle we all call home, the wild metropolis.
Welcome back, I'm Brian Kerp. The Ohio volleyball team picked up 2 conference wins on the road against Akron and Buffalo this past weekend, and Dehylis Bouye was named the MAC East Defensive Player of the Week for her stellar performance. The Bobcats may have been on the road, but Bouye had herself a block party. She had 7 blocks in each of Ohio's first 4 set matches, including 3 solo blocks against the Zips and 2 against Buffalo. Bouye also had a solid offensive day against Akron as she had 10 kills and hit a scorching .625 without committing an error.
I think it means a lot, especially for the team, I guess. We worked very hard in practices, and defense has been a main focus for us. So yeah, I think it's a great award for the team. Tia has given me a lot of pointers, like eye work, ways to read the setter that will help out for like reading the setter and blocking. So yeah, in practice, I think we give each other a lot of feedback to how we can be better and set up a good block for our back row defense.
The Ohio football team suffered a tough loss on Saturday to Northern Illinois. One of the bright spots of the day was Nathan Rourke and the Bobcats offense. The Bobcats came out firing and with some tricks up their sleeves. Ohio's second touchdown of the day came off a pass from D.L. Knock to Nathan Rourke, also known as the Philly special, or the OU special in this case. Then, Austin Pleasance, an offensive lineman, marches his way into the end zone for the touchdown. However, the Bobcats offense lost consistency and went cold in the third quarter.
I mean, what's more deflating in my opinion is the fact that we weren't able to put them away. We couldn't move the ball in the third quarter at the beginning of it, you know what I mean? And it's tough to put your defense in that kind of position when the momentum's all on their side. And, you're up by, 11 in the first, at halftime, and, you can't build off of that. We take responsibility for that. I mean, we didn't move the ball when we needed to, and only when we absolutely needed to did that happen, which is a good thing, but in the grand scheme of things, we would have liked to have just been consistently rolling, and that would have made a big difference, I think.
Ohio will host Kent State this Saturday at noon. Through 2 games, the Golden Flashes lead the MAC East Division standings. After Saturday's loss, Ohio's margin of error is thin, and this week's divisional game is essentially a must-win for Frank Solich and the Bobcats.
We know all the implications, and we know where we stand, we know where the other teams stand, but it's a crazy conference right now. And, it's just tough in the MAC. We'll see how this all plays out. We're not the only ones thinking that, hey, we got to get winning and we got to stay on a roll.
Game 4 of the National League Division Series between the St. Louis Cardinals and Washington Nationals is tonight. The Nationals have a chance to sweep the series and punch their ticket to the World Series. Last night, Washington took care of business, defeating the Cards 8-1. First pitch from our nation's capital is set for 8 p.m. Now, Connor, I know it's October and a lot of people are watching football now, but I tell you, playoff baseball is a lot of fun to watch.
That's true. What's the competition looking like this year?
Well, we got all 4 good teams in the Final Four here, and hey, Nationals are a game away from punching their ticket to that World Series.
All right, thank you, Brian.
Much deserved.
One Idaho high schooler only has 1 leg, but she's not letting that slow her down. Elle Guth was born without a fibula and ultimately had to have one of her legs amputated when she was 16 months old. But she's also a pivotal player on her volleyball team. She is able to move quickly and jump high, making it nearly impossible to recognize one of her 2 legs is a prosthetic.
A lot of people will come up to me after the game and they're like, whoa, I didn't know you could jump that high or play like that. And it was it's nice to be able to show that it's not a disability.
Guth played volleyball for nearly 5 years, and she says she hopes to help her team in the district tournament this weekend and advance to the state tournament after that. Now, let's get one final look at the weather from Melissa.
Tomorrow in Athens, it will be 57 degrees. That will be the high. There will be morning showers until about 10 a.m. in Athens. It will be a cloudy day, and the winds will be from the west at 10 to 15 miles an hour. Across the region, it will be 58 in Marietta, 57 in Athens, and 58 down in Ripley. And there will be showers across the region in the morning. On Wednesday, there will be morning showers again. Thursday, it will clear up and it will warm up a little bit to 59 degrees. Friday and Saturday will be beautiful days at 62 degrees on Friday and 66 degrees on Saturday. Sunday, there is a slight chance of rain, and back to the desk.
And that does it for our broadcast this evening. Thanks for watching. I'm Connor Keurig. Stay tuned for the PBS NewsHour coming up next. And remember, you can find the latest news anytime at woub.org. Have a great night.
The battle over Baby M, the landmark case that still shapes surrogacy today.
What comes next after one gets married? Kids.
Could a solution for global warming be found in a